Do y'all remember those purple hull shells we had left over too? Y'all see how I've got them down in this big pot? I'm going to just cover them in water, which takes a little bit. I don't have much water pressure down here in my canning kitchen. I'm going to just cover them in water, and then I'm going to bring it to a boil and let them steep for us to make some jelly. It's the craziest jelly ever, ever. It's crazy. But I'm going to tell you, it tastes wonderful. It almost tastes like a fig jelly, a little bit like a plum jelly. And it is something that a lot of people just throw away, you know. I know you can feed it to your animals, your livestock and such, but they're not getting mine. No, they're not. They get plenty of treats, but they're not getting this. So we're going to make some jelly with it. Y'all see how I've just got it covered? If you squish them down, you'll see it's just covered. Alright, I'm going to get these on to boil, guys. Put y'all up toward my stove right here. And show y'all, I'm going to bring them over here. And I'm going to bring it to a boil. And when I do, then I'm going to put that lid on here. Raise y'all up just a little bit more. As soon as I bring it to a boil, then I'm going to place the lid on there, and I'm going to turn off my fire, and then I'll just let it steep. And a lot of times I'll let it steep 4-6 hours, and sometimes overnight before I strain it for our jelly juice. That way it makes us some purple hull tea. Yeah, and of course it's just the hulls now. It doesn't have a pea left in it. We saved out our pea. So now we're just saving these hulls for this jelly. So it's just perfect, isn't it? I feel like this came from an old time thing, like maybe during the Depression possibly, when people had to do anything and everything. And also you can make jelly out of anything and everything. I've picked before and said I think you can take a leather strap or belt or boots and make jelly out of it. I really do, and it tastes good. Alright, we will trade this out. Wow, that's wonderful. We're going to have lots and lots of purple hull jelly. Yes, we are. All right, maybe, possibly, I'll hold the rest in here. Let's hope. You can still feed these hulls to the chickens or your cows or your pigs or whatever you got on the farm that'll eat it. You sure can. Alright, y'all. There we have it. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put mine. I'm going to cover them. Isn't this a beautiful color? It's a nice fig color. And like I say, it reminds me of a fig jelly. It sure does. I'm going to cover these. I'm going to put them in the refrigerator because I'm going to pick up my granddaughter, Addie. She wants to come spend the day with me and swim. My mama's working, and you know, it's easy for me to say I don't have time because y'all know how crazy I am. But you know, if you never have time, your kids and your grandkids are grown, and so sometimes you just have to stop. And I'm going to put this jelly juice in the refrigerator, and I'm going to get with her, and I'm going to try to get, she and I are going to get on here and make a little recipe, a fun kid recipe. Exactly. So like I say, sometimes we just got to stop and say, yeah, I'll come get you, and you can spend the day with me. I think she's going to spend the night and go to church with me tonight. So anyway, guys, I will see y'all later to make this jelly. This juice, we are going to start with 8 cups of our purple hull juice. Alrighty, I'm going to carefully pour that in there. It looks almost like tea, doesn't it, guys? I know. And to tell y'all what it tastes like, just tasting that, it almost tastes like figs to me. It's very similar to like a fig jelly or jam or preserves, okay? And it's a beautiful color, isn't it? It's also fig color, I do believe, right? And into our 8 cups of purple hull juice, also we're going to add 8 cups of white granulated sugar. That's simple enough, isn't it? And then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I do use this lemon juice when I'm making jelly. Woo! my little lid wasn't on there, was it? That was definitely 2 tablespoons with my first time. Yes, it was. Alright, it has come to a boil, and I'm going to boil it for 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes, and then we're going to add liquid pectin, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that while we're waiting on our 2 minutes. This is the kind of pectin I use. It's called Sure Gel, and it's liquid for this recipe, and it's 2 pouches. Altogether they are 6 ounces and 177 milliliters, just so we will know how much of the pectin to use, because in this purple hull juice, you know, these are purple hulls. This is like your throwaway, so it has 0 pectin in it. So we do put 2 of these pouches just to ensure that it is going to gel for us. So that's what I was wanting to explain a little bit to you, and get that ready. Another thing I'm getting ready is, I'll raise y'all up a little bit here on YouTube, is, oh, I dropped y'all, didn't I? I'm getting these jars. I have some half-pint jars in there with the lids and the twist tops, ready for us to pull out and pour up our jelly. It smells so good in here. I wish y'all could be right here with me. I do. I wish I could pipe that smell out to y'all, because it smells so good. Some people have tasted this and said it tasted like plum. Oh, there's our timer. Okay, we're going to stop our timer, and now we're going to put in 2 packages of this Sure Gel liquid pectin, and this is how I do it. I just twist it down to get it out of here, just like that. And I had already cut the top of them off, so I was ready with this pectin, ready to roll, just like this. Woo, it's getting hot on my hands. Hot, hot, hot. There we go. And I'm going to return it to a boil. I want to talk to y'all a little bit about, it's hard to just do a jelly by boil 2 minutes, then put pectin and boil 1 minute or 2 minutes, because if the jelly's ready, it's ready. If it's not, it's not, okay? So what I do, I'll kind of do that on the side of this boiler, and how it's just running back down, just clear liquid. I know this jelly isn't ready, okay? And you just cannot go by time. I'm having to let it drip off this spoon, and it's still dripping really easily. I can tell you right now, this is not going to gel. This ain't going to gel up, okay? I know that the hard way, because I've done it before, and I'm a hard head, and if it didn't gel up, I would go back and open every single jar, wash all my jars again, and put this back in a pot and boil it some more. So now I've learned through the years, because I've been doing this 26 plus years, okay? What I do, when I think it might be ready, I get me a little saucer, and I put a little bit right here on it, and I do 1 minute in the freezer, and if it gels, then I know it'll gel. But you see that it's just pouring right back off that plate. It has been 6 minutes, and I want to show you what it's doing off the spoon now. Hope y'all can see that. It's starting to drip slower, and that last drip literally is just kind of hanging on there, okay? That means it's getting closer. Okay, y'all, I just want to show y'all that gel test. You see 1 minute in the freezer, and it's still just running around that plate. So it's not quite ready yet. I didn't figure it would be, but I'm just showing y'all. Okay, y'all, I let this cook. It's been cooking, I know, 20 to 30 more minutes, okay, guys? Because, like I say, this doesn't have any natural pectin in it. It's totally relying on those liquid pectins, but don't be discouraged, because eventually, when you do your little gel test in the freezer, you see how it's staying gelled like that? Can you see that, running my finger through it like that? It's gelling, and I can tell it's gelling. You see how it won't run on the plate much at all? It's staying on there really well. That means it is gelling, okay? So now we have got jelly. so I can turn off my fire finally. This is the only one that takes that long, is this purple hull, but it's so worth it, so worth it. I'm going to get my jars and get y'all moved back some, and I'll be back. Okay guys, we've got us a dry towel for cleaning the top of our lids. And I forgot my little funnel over here, and a wide mouth funnel for us. And raise y'all back up here and y'all see these hot jars we have going. Get us one out of here. And you need to boil these for 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes on a little bit of a jiggly boil, okay? I'm going to put y'all back down here. And I boil my tops and my twist tops and my lids that seal as well. I do. Okay. This is what that wide mouth funnel's for. I'm dipping some jelly juice, and you can skim the top of any foam that's on it, but I've told y'all before, John loves the foam. His grandmother didn't skim that foam off. It tastes just like the jelly, and so it reminds him of his grandmother's jelly, so I just leave it on there too. And I'm going to fill it, but I leave some headspace for it to have room to seal. And I'm going to try to show y'all. Do y'all see it has some headspace there? It's kind of right here to the top of where our twists start, okay? That gives us some headspace to let your lid seal and stay sealed. And I'm fishing out with this little magnet thing. This comes in a set of your jelly and things. It'll come with this funnel and a magnet to get your hot lids out of that hot water, and it'll come with a measurer for that headspace, but I never use that, to be honest with you. I just don't. I've done it so long. And you just tighten this with your fingers, okay? You don't want to just bear down and over tighten it, because all you're wanting is that seal to go down on there, and as it cools it will compress and seal. And then after that, you can remove this twist top if you want to. I do not. I leave it on there because I just think it looks better. My grandmother did remove it, and she would reuse her twist tops, but you do not have to do that like me. And I'm going to put it to the side. I'm not going to move that. It needs to totally cool on its own, and then it will seal, and it'll make a glorious popping noise that you will love to hear when you're canning. And I just continue along to fill. Something that I do a lot of times, I didn't on that, and I want to show you again. I'm going to fill this one. And this funnel helps you keep the outside of your jar very, very clean for your lid for sealing, but just in case a little something gets on there, that's when I use this really clean towel, and I just go around the edge just like this, just to make sure and ensure there's nothing on that top between the seal and that glass. And I've got my lid again right out of that hot water. And this is some hot jelly, so you might use this to help twist it on there. And that's it. And I'm going to keep on. I'll let y'all know how many it makes. Let's see here. I've got 2, 4, 6, 7 jars right here is what it made. And isn't it a beautiful color? I'll pick this up and show y'all. It's like an amber color in it. It's almost fig color. It's just so pretty, and it's so very good. And I'm going to feed you some purple hull jelly. You've eaten this before, though, and you know it's good, don't you? That's a big old bite of it.
It is a big bite.
Get you a little bit off the end there. Tell everybody what you think it tastes like, darling.
Tastes like figs. Tastes great.
It tastes just like figs to me too.
It does. It tastes like figs.
I know the internet and stuff said years ago plum and this, that, and other. But it tastes like figs. It tastes good. Does it taste good?
It tastes great.
We'll take
I'm going to hook that up on a biscuit this winter.
a biscuit this winter.
Probably not going to be the winter for some of it.
Probably not. Okay, y'all, just so y'all see, we made this from something we would throw away, so I just wanted to share that with y'all. I want to read a sweet letter that I got from one of you, and y'all, it's been at my house a few weeks now. And I'm like, man, I got to get that down there to the Cannon Kitchen so we can read about it. Y'all see, we got a few projects going on. We got tomatoes from the garden, and did y'all hear the pickled peppers popping? This is my second batch of pickled peppers, so while I'm about to do jelly with y'all, and I'm going to do a jelly recipe with y'all video, but I thought I need to read this. I do, because it's so sweet, and it's such a wonderful little story. I loved it. This is from Marianne, and she's in Galveston, Texas. Hey, Marianne. Last time I was in Galveston, I was probably a 6-year-old little girl, and I loved it. Now, I remember the beaches so very well. I went there with my neighbor. He was my best friend, Thomas, and his mom and daddy were going, and I loved Galveston, Texas, and I want to take my family back there, too. I sure do, girl. Sure do. She says, Marianne says, hi, Amy. I enjoy your YouTube channel, watching you cook, as well as you're taking your viewers along with you on your various endeavors and adventures on your vast property. I have lived in Galveston, Texas since 1990, but in the summer of 1968, my mother, sister, and I moved from North Carolina to Ruston because in spring of 1968, my father, Bill Best, opened the Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise in Ruston. Marianne, I have eaten there many times. I used to take Spanish out at Louisiana Tech, and it was right there across from Tech on one of its vast campus. It was, and so that is so amazing. I just gasped when I read that. I was like, oh, how fantastic. You said he had moved there several months ahead of us in preparation for opening the business. He was determined. I love that very much. He retired and sold the business in the late 1980s. He also opened a Baskin-Robbins ice cream store on the back of the KFC property. Girl, he was something. A few years after opening the KFC, I am just amazed at his effort. The KFC was located on West California Avenue, right down the street from Louisiana Tech campus. Yes, it was, girl, was. Where it is still located today. I had to laugh when I saw your recent video about making copycat KFC coleslaw. Yeah! Oh, I love that. Their slaw is the only kind I will eat, even to this day. I know, it is my favorite, girl. I was just finishing up this letter to you when your KFC slaw video was posted and uploaded. Isn't that something, how those connected like that? That's so fantastic. I am not sure which word is correct on your YouTube channel. Right, posted or uploaded. Girl, I don't even know either. I'm still learning. All I do is cook, and then I'm trying to share with y'all, and y'all see half the time I'm on the struggle bus when I'm trying to share all this stuff out there with y'all. But I just love it, so I keep on trying. You said we must have ESP, both thinking about KFC. Yes, I think we do. I just love how those touched one another like that. My father, sister, and brother-in-law lived in Monroe and also had a house on Lake Darbon where we used to visit while we were staying there. I occasionally returned to Ruston to visit friends. Well, you are just all over the place. You're our neighbor many times. Each month, our local newspaper, the Galveston County Daily News, publishes the Coast Monthly magazine. In each issue, there is usually a recipe for wild game as well as other interesting recipes. I have enclosed 2 recipes using venison in case you may be interested in trying them. Of course I am. I love, my husband and my sons, they hunt venison, so I cook venison. I am not sending them to suggest that they are something you would want to cook while videoing, just sending them because you often mention eating venison. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. You couldn't send me any better present than a recipe. You just couldn't. I have also included a recipe using tomatillas, since you recently posted a video of you making salsa verde using tomatillas. So I know that you are used to cooking with them. Yes, I am including my email, but certainly do not expect you to respond. You are much too busy with all you have going on every day to respond to folks individually. I just wanted you to have it. And she sent me her email. And girl, thank you so much. And you signed it, Mary Ann. You are a doll. And your life is such a fabulous little story. I love it. And I want to respond to each and every one of you personally, but I tell you, it is crazy. I'm in the middle of a million things today, and I've actually made many more videos, not just of me cooking, but of me going and hauling hay with John, hauling dirt with John, just to spend some time with him in the evening. I know a lot of y'all say, we miss John. Well, I do too, so I go hop in the truck with him sometimes, and it may be 7, 8 o'clock at night, and he's still hauling. This is just that time of year. So, where was I going with all that? Oh yeah, I'm busy. Right? I know. And everything's coming in from the garden right now, and we slipped off this weekend and stayed at a plantation home down in South Louisiana at Oak Alley, and I want to get that posted too. I did take y'all out on the grounds, and I did film it for y'all and take y'all over to the Mississippi because I wanted to take y'all along. It was our anniversary, our 26th anniversary, and so we just slipped off for 2 nights down there, and it was wonderful and just very relaxing, and just John and Amy. Thank you for understanding, because it's not that I don't want to get back to each and every one of you personally. I do. But I save all of these and addresses. In a fantasy world, I imagine me writing all of you back one time or sending you a little note or something. But that's why I get on here, because I want everybody to see, and I want you to see that I did read it and took that time. And I read this in the house, and it's been up in my office in the mail, and I'm just now bringing it down here so I can read it to everybody else. And these recipes she sent, and you said that y'all's paper, the Galveston Country Daily News, puts out Coast Monthly Magazine. I think that's fantastic. It says A Taste of Texas, and this is crema of the crop. I love that name. And it's avocado crema, and it looks very, very good. And yes, I do want to make that to put on tacos. I certainly do. And this one I love, and it's smoked venison meatloaf, and that sounds so very good. When my boys were little and when John and I were younger, we just didn't have tons of money. We worked paycheck to paycheck. We did before we started our own business, and so we ate so much venison, and it's very good, and it's so lean and good for you. So I'm definitely going to do the smoked meatloaf. I think that is such a nice little spin, and I love that idea. I too put cheese in the center of my meatloaf as well, so it's going to be very much like Mama's meatloaf, this Mama, except it's smoked, and I love that. And I could do that easy smoking where I smoke it actually in my oven, sealed up like on some videos I do. So I am definitely looking forward to doing that. And this is a must-try stir fry, and it also is venison in a teriyaki stir fry, and it looks delicious, and that I could eat that all day long. Yes, I could. So thank you so much for these, and I finally got you down here in my canning kitchen, girl, and I just think your story is fabulous, and I'm saving you. I still got to get me a bulletin board to put all y'all's letters and notes on. Y'all see how I stay behind, but I'm running wide open, so I mean, that's all I can do, right? I know it. John and I went off for Friday evening and Saturday evening, and came back Sunday morning. Yesterday morning when we got back here, well, it was yesterday afternoon when we got back here, we hit the ground running. I ran in and unpacked what I had of our clothes, got those washing, and put all our toiletries back. John was unpacking the rest of the truck. We had an ice chest and things like that. And then we literally ran out to the garden, picked all the tomatoes, picked all the jalapeno peppers for me to put up today. we then we went and checked on our chickens. Our son John Tyler had been watching our chickens and our puppy dogs, and of course we had to sit and visit with the puppy dogs for a minute, get them happy. And we missed them too. Then we went and hopped in the side-by-side. We went across the road and moved our cows from across the road over here in this pasture around our house, because that grass had been depleted and we needed to get them over here. So we were moving cattle and we had to wash out their water trough over here and get it filled back up with some fresh water and get the float back on there. So we hit the ground running and working yesterday evening, and by the time I got in the bed last night, I had planned on putting together that video of the plantation and where we stayed and all that, and I was so tired. I just was like, I'd put it on the computer and I was like, I just got to go to bed. I was just seeing double, you know. So anyway, today I'm putting up peppers and I got these tomatoes to deal with, and we're about to finish our jelly. But I just wanted to do that because I've had that from Marianne and I've been thinking about it when I'm down here, like, man, I need to get that down here. So thank you so much, Marianne, for those recipes and your sweet note.